Hey, welcome back to the channel. Now, I'm usually a pretty positive person, but I just have to really get my thoughts out on this. So this is gonna be a pretty negative video. I'm not going to lie to you. I have a lot to say about this show, and the number one word that comes to my mind is just frustrated after watching the finale. So I'm just gonna get right into it. This has to be one of the worst written stories that I've ever seen in my life. And I've watched this show episode by episode, week by week, just hoping it would get better. Once Kamir was introduced as this new villain, I'm like, okay, this is an interesting character. This is going to go somewhere. But after watching the finale last night, just any hope that I had of liking this show just evaporated into the mist like the witches when the Jedi arrived at the Coven on Brendok. I don't even know where to start. I'm just going to start with this. I've never seen a show that makes you suspend disbelief so much to actually enjoy and understand the plot. But the motivations of the characters in this show are so stupid. Like, I cannot get over that. So they build up this big mystery of, this terrible thing that the Jedi did 16 years ago. Oh, you mean when one of them literally just wanted to go home? So he went to the witches to see the twins so that they could prove the virgins and the force that they had discovered. And that's terrible enough that 16 years later he kills himself because inevitably all the witches are killed, or so we're led to believe. There's a theory that Coral may have escaped, but who cares about that plot thread? We'll save that for another season. But yeah, so in an altercation that really wasn't the Jedi's fault, as the Jedi were never antagonizing towards the witches, were never, were not the bad guys in that scenario. It was just a simple miscommunication, yet for some reason the show tries to, I guess, convince itself that, the twins are supposed to hate Master Soul because he killed their mother, even though she literally started using dark magic for no reason in the middle of a conversation, which led to Soul reacting and killing her. Yeah, Soul is totally a bad dude for doing that. And oh, Osha, you wanted to be a Jedi, so, we're going to hide how you were obtained and, so that the council will accept you. But yet, you're pissed off about that when you find out the truth, even though Soul literally gave you what you wanted. Even though May was the one who literally did start the fire and literally caused the conflict to begin with, no, Soul is the bad guy. The whole stuff with the twins and Soul is definitely the weakest part of this show. It's frustrating to me that, I think Soul was a good character. I think his motivations were good. But all of a sudden, like the last 2 episodes, he just turns into a total dumbass and makes the worst decisions possible. Like, you just witnessed the Sith kill your entire team, and your first thought is, oh, I have to make things right with the twins, not to, go to the council, let the Jedi know, hey, there's an active Darksider that's powerful. No, see, Soul can't do that because it'll ruin canon. Not that they really care about that, but it's just, you cannot suspend your disbelief that much, like, to believe that these characters would be making these decisions. I mean, in this last episode, the little tracker guy, Basil, literally just starts ripping out wires in the ship, causing it to crash, gets no acknowledgement from Soul whatsoever. He just kind of looks and he's like, oh, doesn't say anything. Like, oh my God. And then you have Vernestra, who I guess has the most power in the Jedi Order, that she can just go up to the Senate and, make up her own story about how Master Soul, went rogue and killed all these Jedi, even though the entire Jedi Order knows that May was killing Jedi. One of the Rayan Court, I think, the senator that was doing a review of the Jedi Order, he knows that someone was killing Jedi before Soul. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Please, like, I understand people like this show, and I understand that the actors and actresses and people behind the show, that they worked hard on this, and I'm not just trying to, put down their work, but God, it's frustrating. Like, it's really frustrating. I understand why people are so upset about the show. And I'm a very positive person. I try to enjoy everything that is put out to us as Star Wars fans, but I can't defend this. It's bad writing. It's the whole mystery build up. It didn't work because what the Jedi did was not that bad. Definitely not bad enough that I guess the entire Jedi Order should be complicit in covering up the fact that there was a dark side user that's alluded to having been trained by Vernestra in the past, apparently, but it's... And then the other thing is, in the interviews and the commentary about this show, it's so heavily talked about that it's a self-contained story and, you don't need a season 2, but literally the last 3 minutes of the episode were them setting up a season 2 with unresolved plot threads, with May now being memory wiped and, I guess, assisting the Jedi. And I don't even want to talk about the acting. I just want to say I thought Kamir and Soul were the 2 best characters in the show. I thought they were phenomenal. Their actors did a really great job. But the twins, oh my God, that's some of the worst acting we have in Star Wars. I don't care about them. I can't care about them. Like, they come across as so flat and uninteresting to me. Like, it's unlike anything I've ever seen. God, I'm trying to think of some positives to say, but... yeah. Well, it's over now. I'm sure there'll be plenty to talk about. We did get old Peeping Tom Plagueis looking out from behind the rocks, so maybe they'll continue that thread at some point. Hopefully they don't change his entire motivation every 5 minutes to fit the story, or, have him make the dumbest decisions possible, which, I don't know. That seems to be a recurring theme with this show. Yeah, so The Acolyte, again, if you like it, you like it, but to me as a Star Wars fan, I'm very frustrated. I'm very disappointed, and really had a lot higher hopes. So it's going to be it for today. Make sure you subscribe. We got more Star Wars content coming in the future. I appreciate all the love, and may the Force be with you. Let's blow up that like button and go home.